All right, we are live on YouTube. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Whew. Once again, traffic has us running late. But a little chilly outside, but warm in here. And it's Shabbat. What could be better than that? So let me put the Shabbat bulletin in the chat for those of you on Zoom. Oops. Oh, that didn't work. Here we go. There we go. The Shabbat bulletin is in the chat now for those of you on Zoom, so you can download it. And you will find our opening song in the back of the Shabbat bulletin. Our opening song is Hine Ma Tov. Please join me. Whoop. Hine Ma Tov u'mana'im shevekulanu yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Ma Tov u'mana'im shevekulanu yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'mana'im shevekulanu yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Hine Ma Tov u'mana'im shevekulanu yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'mana'im shevekulanu yachad. Shevekulanu yachad. We continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles on pages 2 and 3 in our Siddur, which in the prayer book for Shabbat, weekdays, and festivals, otherwise known as the Big Book, is on pages 120, 121. Who would like to light the Shabbat candles this evening? Maury.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. And I'm going right for the big one this time. I'm not even going to do the other one. There you go. Awesome. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvot mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Maury. All right. We continue on page 6. And let's read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
We continue on page 20 with Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we reach verse 9, we rise and face the rear of the synagogue to welcome the Sabbath bride. I am, I think, coming down with a little cold. My throat's a little scratchy. So I'm sort of lowering the key on everything. And please sing over me. It'll be much nicer for all of you. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 Shabbat Nekabela Bo'wi v'shalom Ateret on page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'kadash meraba Be'amad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon U'chayedecho beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ubizman kariv V'imiru amen Yehesh meraba mevarach Le'alam li'al me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitala Shemei dekudesha brichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran bi'alma'a V'imiru amen. We turn to page 28 and rise for the Baruch Hu as able. We continue on page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'arif Aravim. Page 33. Let's read responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things your Torah gives to us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works and the living wonder that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34, Shema Yisrael. Adonai you're seated as we continue on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, bishivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot ayadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish'arecha lema'an tizkeru va'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Continue at the bottom of page 39 in the middle of the page. I seem to have chosen all the responsive readings tonight. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Page 40. Bye bye bim biddy bammy, yeah bye bye bim bam. Yeah bye bye bim biddy bammy, yeah bye bye bim bam. I die 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 die, yeah bye bye bim bam. I die die die, yeah bye bye bim bam. Mi chamocha baili madonai, mi chamocha nedar b'chodesh. No rati lot ozefel. Kifat Adonai et Yaakov, Ugealo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 43. Let's read together in the middle of the page. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. for all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 44 with Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam la'berit olam beini u'bein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz u'hayom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayinav Shabbat Shabbat vayinav Shabbat Shabbat vayinav. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. It happened once upon a time, happens all the time. We turn to page 46, and as able, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, uvi avi tehillah. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Names on my side.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atah rav le'hoshia. Mashiv haruach ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We are seated, and we continue together on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds, please join me, to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 61. We take a few moments for silent reflection and prayer, using the words on the following pages or those that flow from our hearts. page 62. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Oh, say shalom b'mromav, Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. As far as I know, I'm the only birthday this week, and I'm not blessing myself. I don't think there are any anniversaries this week either, am I right? Do we have any other birthdays this week? No? Okay. Let's turn to page 253 then.
Don't shoot yourself out of a lollipop, don't forget.
I'll skip the lollipop and go right to the cake.
Okay, deal.
Page 253, which in the big book is page 371. Our thoughts turn to those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. Mi sheberach avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. Marcy Berman, Marty Boyle, Dennis Boucher, Bob Brock, Isaac Cohen, Sarah Cohen, Bruce Dalby, Carolyn Allen, Stuart Allen, Joseph Drezick, Steve Feynman, Bernice Fischel, Justin Folk, Kathy Hassenlop, Melanie Hudson, Matt Kiefer, Rabbi Elisa Kopel, Patty Kuntz, Jana Lesser, Arthur McLeod, Mike McNerney, Tom Moore, Marge Muldoon, Cobb Muter, Charles Patrick, Charlotte Renfro, John Robertson, Bruce Schlossberg, Shimshon Ben Avraham V'Sarah, Jennifer Simlin, April Singer, Ron Stevens, Maria Stospal, Maureen Sullivan, Cliff Van Cora, Emilio Vasquez, Susan Weber, Marcia Gorin Wesser, Kay Williams, Valerie Zuckman. We add to those all of the people who are suffering in Turkey and Syria, their families as well, and those around the world who are suffering along with them, their families and friends here in the United States and abroad. Are there others for whom we are praying for healing this Shabbat? We'll start with those in the room first.
Loretta Doty and Ann Stacy.
Thank you. Maury.
Mike Stern and Michael Kelly.
Thank you. Anybody on Zoom? Eileen?
Marlene Prebley and Jerry Grant.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom? For those who've been named and for those we name in our hearts, we continue. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, Lahachalimam, Ularapotam, Ulahachazikam, V'yishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah, Refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh, urefuat haguf, hashtabeh agalav izman kariv, v'nomar, Amen. And we continue with the Misha Berach that we sing. And I'm going to sing it in a much lower key than usual. Not that quite that low. Now we're going to find out if I remember to unlock the ark. I don't think I did. Easily remedied. Sort of. There we go. Let's turn back in our prayer books to page 245. Page 245. Move this off to the side, where that's not going to work. So I'm going to really move it off to the side. I invite you all to rise in honor of the Torah. Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies, no treasure can match it. Page 246. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, U'devar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael. Big Susha
Lecha Adonai Agilula, Ve'agilura v'hatiferet, ve'hanetzach ve'ha'od. Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai Hamlaka, Ve'ani na'aseh le'chol le'rosh.
Come up here, and I'll
Yep.
address.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, we haven't read in a few weeks, so we got to roll it forward a little bit. There you go. Okay. So, at the very beginning of this week's portion, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brings Moses' wife, Zipporah, and their two sons, Gershom and Eleazar, who have been hanging out with Jethro in Midian while Moses was doing God's bidding in Egypt, to Moses in the wilderness at the foot of Mount Sinai. They greet each other affectionately and ask after each other's welfare. And Jethro wants to hear about everything that happened, since Moses left him. So Moses tells him in great detail, and Jethro's response is, "Blessed is Adonai, who delivered you from the Egyptians and Pharaoh, and who delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that Adonai is greater than all gods." Jethro brings a burnt offering for God, and this priest of Midian, as he is known, essentially converts to follow Adonai. Which brings us to the section I'm about to read, and on which Rod is going to offer his Devar Torah. So let's join together in the blessing. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayhi mimochorat, vayesha Moshe lishpot et ha'am, v'ya'amod ha'am el Moshe min haboker ad ha'arev. And the next day, Moses sat to judge the people, and they stood, and the people stood around Moses from the morning until the evening. Vayar choten Moshe et kol asher hu asa la'am vayomer. And Moses' father-in-law saw all that Moses did for the people, and he said, Ma hadavar hazeh asher ata oseh la'am. What is all this that you're doing for the people? Madua ata yoshev levadecha v'chol ha'am nitzav alecha min boker ad arav. Why are you sitting alone and all of the people are standing around you from the morning until evening? Vayomer Moshe lechotno, and Moses said to his father-in-law, Ki yavo elai ha'am lidrosh Elohim. It is because the people come to me to inquire of God. Ki yihiyeh lahem davar bo elai v'shafatati bein ish uvein re'ehu v'hodati et chukei ha'elohim ve'et toratav. When they have a dispute between one person and his neighbor, they bring it to me, and I show them, and I instruct them the laws, God's laws and teachings. Vayomer choten Moshe elav, and Moses' father-in-law said to him, Lo tov hadavar asher ata oseh. This is not a good thing that you're doing. Navol tavol gam ata gam ha'am hazeh asher imach. Surely you will wear yourself out, and also this people asher imach that is with you. Ki kaved mimcha hadavar, because this thing is too heavy for you. Lo tuchal asohu levadecha. You cannot do this alone. Ata shema b'koli. Now listen to me. Iatzcha, I will give you counsel. Vayhi Elohim imach, and God be with you. Heye ata le'am mul ha'Elohim, v'heveta ata et hadvarim el ha'Elohim, v'hizharta ethem et hachukim v'et hatorot, v'hodata lahem et haderech yelchu ba, v'et ha'ma'aseh asher ye'asun. You represent the people to God, and you bring their disputes to God, and then you enjoin upon them the laws and teachings, and show them the ways that they should go and the practices that they should follow. V'ata techazeh mikol ha'am anshe chayil yir'ei Elohim anshe emet son'ei batza. And you choose from among all of the people men of courage, or people of courage, people that fear God, men of trustworthy people, shunners, people that shun ill-gotten gains. V'samta alehem sarei alafim, sarei me'ot, sarei chamishim, v'sarei asarot. And put them over, make them chiefs over thousands and hundreds and fifties and tens. V'shaftu et ha'am b'chol eight, and they will judge the people at all times. V'heyeh kol hadavar hagadol yaviu elecha, v'chol hadavar hakaton yishpetu heim. All of the big disputes they'll bring to you, and all of the small disputes they'll judge themselves. V'hakel me'alecha v'nas'u itcha. And this will lighten your burden because they'll share it. Im et hadavar hazeh ta'aseh v'tzivcha Elohim. If you will do this thing, and God so commands, v'yachalta imcha v'gam kol ha'am hazeh el mekomo yavo b'shalom. If you do this thing and God so commands, then you will be able to continue and bear it, and also all of the people will then be able to return to their homes in peace. V'yishma Moshe lekol chotno v'ya'az kol asher amar. And Moses heeded his father-in-law's voice and did just as he said. That's it. Blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. If I could get someone to come and help me put the cover on, and let's rise in honor of the Torah. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael.
Al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Okay, got it? Okay.
Page 257. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai, ki nisgav shemo levado. Let God's name be exalted. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. The bottom of the page. Eitz chaim hi lemachazik ima v'tomchecha me'ushar derachecha darchei noam You're seated. And it is my pleasure to call on Rod Hudson, who is going to deliver tonight's Devar Torah.
Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who are in the workforce or were at one time, feeling overwhelmed at work sometimes means you're in over your head and cannot keep up with all the demands of your job. Consider all the demands that are placed on you every day. You have deadlines to meet, projects to start, projects to finish, calls to answer, emails to reply to, team members to help, and on and on. One of the fastest paths to feeling overwhelmed is being overloaded with too much to do and not enough time to do it. In this week's parashah, we find Moses overwhelmed and exhausted. You may recall that Moses had fled Egypt after slaying an Egyptian taskmaster. He stopped in Midian, where he meets Jethro, a Midianite priest. Moses marries Jethro's daughter, Zipporah, and they have 2 sons. When Moses returns to Egypt, he leaves his family in Midian with his father-in-law because he feels they'll be safer there than when he returns to Egypt. So anyway, Jethro brings the family to Moses in the desert at the beginning of the parashah. Jethro makes this journey after hearing all God has done for Israel and bringing them out of Egypt. During Jethro's visit, he notices that Moses is working very hard to address all the questions and disputes of the Hebrew community. Moses was the only one responsible for making communal judgments and decisions. It is easy for a person to take on a task and become overwhelmed by it. That is what happened to Moses in his attempt to hear every complaint and dispute. And when Jethro sees this, he asks Moses why he judges from dawn till dusk while surrounded by a milling crowd. Jethro advises Moses to alter this means of deciding cases, to delegate work so that the burden does not fall on Moses and the people are less likely to become frustrated by the long wait. Moses accepts Jethro's advice and appoints judges to help him in making decisions that he was previously making on his own. An aspect that Exodus commentators have noted in the appointment of judges before receiving the law at Sinai, as recorded later in Exodus. In other words, they appointed judges before they received the law. How were these initial judges to apply these general principles that were set out for which you heard as far as men of substance, God-fearers, men of truth, men who hate monetary gain? In other words, the social, spiritual, and moral qualifications for judges. How were these initial judges to apply these general principles to actual cases when the law had not yet been given to them? What was allowed and what was forbidden? What resolution was merited? Nachmanides in the 12th century noted the importance for judges to have laws to apply. He notes the laws included, for example, the release of slaves and a series of laws that governed murder. The judges would have benefited had the law been passed down before their appointment. Without laws, there could be a wide variance of result from one judge to another. So according to Exodus, Jethro the Midianite advises Moses to appoint judges, and they are appointed before the law is given at Sinai. Or was that what happened? Did a Midianite really create the Israelite judicial system? And was the law given after the appointment of judges? A different telling of this story can be found in Deuteronomy chapter 1. In chapter 1, two difficulties are corrected. The first difficulty is the creation of the justice system by a Midianite. This is corrected in Deuteronomy by omitting this part of the story entirely. There is no mention of Jethro whatsoever, and instead Moses goes into great detail as to how he created the justice system himself. The second difficulty is the appointment of judges before the law was received. In this Deuteronomy retelling, the divine revelation of the law precedes the appointment of judges, affirming that the revelation of the law is more important than its administration. In Deuteronomy 1:6, God tells the Israelites, "You have stayed long enough at this mountain." This refers, of course, to the mountain where the law was given and had already been given at that point. Then later in Deuteronomy 1:9 is when Moses says he cannot bear the burden of judging on his own and sets forth the characteristics of men who are worthy to assist him in judging complaints and disputes. But let's return to Jethro. Some commentators believe the Exodus inclusion of Jethro and his appearance before the law is given and intended to place special emphasis on his actions, that is, to highlight his role in creation of the Israelite judiciary. Some commentators see Jethro's inclusion to show that not all Gentiles are wicked enemies of Israel. After all, in the preceding chapter in Exodus, the Israelites had battled Amalek, and afterwards God had told Moses that he would blot out the memory of Amalek. And what does the featuring of Jethro tell us today besides the importance of delegating of responsibility? Today it supports a proposition that we should listen to persons who hold views not quite the same as our own. For example, we do this through various interfaith activities, meetings, gatherings, religious services, communal activities, and the like. Recent examples include the interfaith Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. service and the associated march, and there are many others that occur all the time. And we meet to better understand different faiths and religions, each party remaining true to their own beliefs while respecting the right of the other to practice their faith freely. We meet to work together for the common good. And while we meet, we might just learn something that we can use in our own temple. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, good evening, folks.
Good evening.
Glad to have you here. Notice we have a couple of newcomers. Welcome. Look forward to meeting you during the Honeg. All the folks on Zoom, glad to have you. Hiya. Anybody out there on YouTube, feel free to paddle in. Okay, Rod, thank you very much. Always grew up knowing that mutual understanding leads to mutual respect, and that gives a number of folks of other faith could be educated a little bit. Some of the anti-Semites that are running around would find themselves rather lonely. Okay, coming up, we have got the forum sign up. The producer and director are waiting with bated breath. If you're interested, try to sign up by the 12th so they can get a sense as to what's going on, because the service is going to be on the 3rd, so they don't have an awful lot of time. And also the people who do the Academy Awards, I'm told, are going to be giving a special award for nondescript, my leading actor in nondescript micro congregations in the state of Texas. So this is it. This is your big chance. You actually get to get up on the stage and say something political. Yeah. Okay. Adult Ed, February 26th. It'll be here. Details in the brochure, also on the Thursday bulletin. And if that doesn't work, we've hired a couple elves. They'll stick it under your pillow. Okay, and coming up on March 10, ladies, it will be is a Hadassah celebration. Fine old organization. Please take note of it, or you'll be in trouble with your mother. Yeah. Okay. That being pretty much all I've got this evening. Lisa, let's go back to you.
We do need to have sign-ups for Purim by Sunday, please. We'd love to have you participate, kids and adults, but we need to know so we can plan and have rehearsals, a couple of them, not too many. We are going, yes.
The congregational meeting
Oh, yes, we have.
on the 19th.
We have a congregational meeting on February 19th. Yeah, at 1 o'clock on Zoom. Email will be going out before the meeting, and it'll be in next week's newsletter. Thank you for the reminder. We are going to continue with the concluding portion of our service, beginning on page 282. Page 282 with Aleinu L'Shabeach. That is 586 in the big book. Pick your part, the Ein Ode or the words, the rest of the words. Ein Ode, Ein Ode, Ein Ode, Ein Ode. Page 295. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat we remember Pat Strasbach, close friend of Susan Weintraub, who's in the period of Shloshim, 30 days past the death. We also remember Bertha Hudson, mother of Rod Hudson, Arthur Salzman, father of Robert Salzman, whose yahrzeits are observed this Shabbat. We remember 10 people who perished in the Holocaust: Mark Markovitz, Nadaida Pollock, Mendel Prasini, Henri Usselman, Jacques Greenhouse, Berta Hellman, Mer Liebman, George Maklis, Fanny Pacis, and Natan Potsaha. We also, of course, remember the over 21,000 who've been killed in Turkey and Syria. Is there anybody else who is observing a yahrzeit or remembering somebody for Kaddish this Shabbat?
Francis Goodman.
Thank you. Anybody on Zoom? Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing, as we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon u'b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izban kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens help us to make peace on earth and send peace to all who are bereaved, as we say. Amen. Amen. We are going to conclude this evening with Shalom Aleichem, which can be found on page 323, page 323, page 627 in the Big Book. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Who would like to lead us in Kiddush this evening? Any takers? Thank you, Rod.
Join me on page 5.
Kiddush can be found on page 5. Which is page 123 in the big book.
Oops. All right.
No more wine for you.
That's it. You haven't had it yet.
Thank you.
Filled it to the rim.
Thank you.
Okay, go for it, Rob. Jeez. Right? Can't walk and drink wine at the same time.
Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kosho, be'ahava u'ratzon kilanu, zikaron ma'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikrae kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kibanu v'charta, Yatanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodeshecha yahava u'ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Oof. Oof. Thank you, Rod.
Okay.
Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'te'avon. Turn off the streaming so y'all can unmute and wish each